Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new season of Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Known as the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock is well known to this day for his thrillers. From The Lodger to Dar and for Murder to The Birds, Hitchcock directed over 50 films during his career. Hitchcock's depictions of violence and his complex psychological characters have made his movies stand out from others. But every great director has to start somewhere. In 1920, Hitchcock began working at famous Players Lasky in London. He began by designing title cards for silent films. While at famous Players Lasky, Hitchcock was able to learn about other aspects of film and eventually became an assistant director. While acting as assistant director on the 1923 film Woman to Woman, Hitchcock asked Alma Reville to join the project as an editor. This led to a lifelong partnership between the two, who got married in 1926. In 1926, Hitchcock also released The Pleasure Garden, which, in 1925, had become the first film Hitchcock directed on his own. Hitchcock directed 24 more films with famous Players Lasky after The Pleasure Garden, including the 1929 film Blackmail, which is often cited as the first British sound feature film. Then, in 1939, Hitchcock and Reville left London. Hitchcock and Reville left for Hollywood because of the greater opportunities available there, and they were not disappointed. Hitchcock had more resources available to him in America than he had in England, and he used these to his advantage. In 1940, Hitchcock released his first Hollywood film, Rebecca.
It's not only in this room, it's in all the rooms in the house. You can almost hear it now. Do you think the dead come back and watch the living?
With Rebecca, Hitchcock won his first and only Academy Award for Best Picture. In 1944, Hitchcock experimented with Lifeboat.
We never should have let him stay on board. He'll eat our food, drink our water, and double-cross us first chance he gets.
What are you afraid of? He's 1 against 7.
It was 8 yesterday, or have you forgotten?
Lifeboat was Hitchcock's first limited-setting movie. The entire movie was set on a lifeboat. Hitchcock used the style 3 more times in Rope, Dial M for Murder, and Rear Window. By using a limited setting, Hitchcock was able to create a greater sense of suspense, and it often limited viewers knowing just as much as the main character. Besides being a limited setting film, Rope, released in 1948, was also Hitchcock's first Technicolor film, and it marked the beginning of his transition to widescreen.
He's got it! He knows. He knows. All right, he knows. Easy, I'll take care of you. Won't. I'd just as soon kill you as kill him.
Hitchcock continued to use color after Rope, but one of his most famous scenes is in black and white. In 1960, Hitchcock changed the film industry with Psycho. When he killed off Marion Crane, a main character, near the beginning of the movie, he shocked audiences. This was completely unheard of at the time, and it captivated everyone who saw it. Yet this scene could not have happened without Alma Reville. Not only did she notice Marion Crane moving when she was supposed to be dead, she was also the reason the now infamous music was used. Hitchcock did not want to use the music Bernard Herrmann had composed. He only wanted viewers to hear the sounds of Marion Crane being murdered. But Reville wanted Hitchcock to try the music. Hitchcock may have been widely regarded as one of the greatest directors, but he always saw Reville as the best in the film industry. So he added the music to the scene and ended up keeping it for the final cut. Although she was not always credited, Reville was an editor, a sounding board, a consultant, and often gave the last word on Hitchcock's films. The biggest compliment one could hear on set was that Reville liked it. Without Alma Reville, Hitchcock's films would not have had the same effect that they did. Hitchcock continued directing films until 1976, when his last film, Family Plot, was released. Although it's been over 40 years since his last film, Hitchcock's influence can still be felt today. Although the word Hitchcockian is not used often, people know what to expect when they hear it. They want the suspense that Hitchcock created so well. But Hitchcock changed the film industry in more ways than just his style. While he was not the first to use the MacGuffin, Hitchcock was the one who popularized the term. A MacGuffin is an item that serves to move the plot forward. A classic example is the Holy Grail from Arthurian legends. When asked by Dick Cavett what a MacGuffin is, Hitchcock said the following.
It's always called the thing that the characters on the screen worry about, but the audience don't care.
Hitchcock also caused the use of the dolly zoom, as seen in Vertigo, to emphasize a great height. Hitchcock helped create two other styles of movie. With North by Northwest, the spy movie became popularized, which eventually led to the James Bond films. Psycho, with its murder of Marion Crane, gave birth to the slasher genre. Yet Hitchcock's largest influence on film is the way we watch movies. Before Psycho, people might walk into a theater halfway through a movie and then stay for part of the next showing in order to see what they missed. But Hitchcock wanted Marion Crane's murder to be kept a secret. Simply asking viewers not to spoil the movie would not be enough. So theaters had set times for showings and would not let people in late. Eventually, this became how we go to see movies today. Alfred Hitchcock was more than just a master of suspense. He was a great director and editor, and his style is one that truly passes the test of time. From The Pleasure Garden to Family Plot, Hitchcock created a legacy that will last forever.